Okay, so my name's Kate Dearden, and I work for IOM's Missing Migrants Project. I'm a data analyst with the project. So yeah, the project tracks migrant deaths worldwide. So we try and record every time a migrant dies or goes missing and is presumed dead while trying to migrate to an international location. So the project started officially in January 2014, and the real emphasis, or I should say motivation, was the loss of lives of nearly 400 people off the coast of Lampedusa in October of 2013. So because of that, starting in January 2014, IOM started to officially record migrant deaths. Well, the initial reason to start was to really give an idea of the scale of migrant deaths around the world, instead of just having passing stories in the media, to really keep track and look at them over a period of time so we can know what's happening on a bigger scale. So we keep all of our records are all transparent, and so the idea is to have a set of data information that people can take, policymakers can take to inform discussion. We're also hoping that it can inform, for example, discussion on the SDGs 10.7 on safe migration. I mean, our ultimate aim is, of course, that migrant deaths decrease, are ultimately eliminated, but so we're trying to increase the information available so we get there. Yeah, so our project only counts people who are confirmed to be dead, so that means their remains have been recovered, or they're missing and presumed dead, so that means likely that they were lost over water. We do not record people who they went missing and their family hasn't heard of them in a few weeks or a few months or even a few years, but it's possible that they're still out there. So in that way, it is really a low estimate of how many migrants are dying. So since the beginning of 2014, IOM has recorded over 27,000 deaths of migrants worldwide. Well, and very unfortunately, we continue to record migrant deaths nearly every day. So I would say in general, it's not getting any better. It is hard to tell in a way because there's so many problems with data collection and so hard to track migrant deaths, if it is the number of migrant deaths that's increasing or decreasing, or if it's related to our data sources. So it is a bit complicated to say in that way. There are many, many challenges which have become more and more clear to us as we've gone along the past few years. First and foremost, I mean, we would record any death during migration, but the reality is nearly all of these deaths happen during irregular migration. And by that I mean people are migrating in ways that aren't legalized by the state, aren't regularized by the state. And so that means that people are trying to avoid detection by authorities and generally take more risky routes. Therefore, so that basically leads to a whole variety of problems with collecting data. People are going through very treacherous and often remote terrain, therefore they may not be found. A lot of times people travel with nearly nothing on them, so it's very hard to tell, for example, if they are migrant even. So we do a lot of looking at the geography of where the deaths happen, looking at migration routes, to try and kind of connect the dots because so much is unknown. There's a number of ways that we think we can improve the data on missing migrants. So last year, the Missing Migrants Project's annual report, Fatal Journeys, we made 5 recommendations where we think we can improve data. So among those are really working and promoting civil society efforts to work directly with families, along with ICRC. And because people on the ground and the families, they make it easier to verify where these missing people are and who they are. Another thing we want to promote are surveys. So there are some efforts to survey migrants in places where maybe governments or authorities aren't recording deaths. So therefore migrants are being asked, what kind of risks did you face along the way? What kind of, experiences? Did you witness any deaths? And we also ask that states really share and use administrative data where needed and share them across borders, across regions, because migrant deaths is really an international issue that isn't just contained within a border or a local municipality.